Hello everybody, this is Santos and I'm here to talk to you about some of the options we have if we can't use the Adobe Suite or if we're having trouble. And this will help you learn about how to make video games, but it also allows you to interact and do your own stuff. Now these games can be as simple as something that, a kindergartner could make, but there's also games that could be really advanced. So don't let this fool you. Just because it looks like little kid stuff doesn't mean it's for little kids. You can do really advanced things on here. So it's those of you that really like video games and have advanced ideas, this could be a really fun way to practice your ideas. So first of all, I'm just going to show you the basics. You literally just go to arcade.makecode.com. And then what I would do is I would go down here and I would take a look at a tutorial or a block game, community games, game design concepts. There's really so much that you can do that's all really fun. But for example, tutorials are cool because they'll tell you what to do. So for example, I'm going to go here to chase the pizza. And it's going to say, get started creating a simple game to chase a pizza around the screen and collect as many points as possible. So it's super fun. You get to make a game. So I'm going to click on Start Tutorial. And I didn't have to install any software. This should work right in your browser. So everybody with a Chromebook, this should work just fine. So what I'm going to do here is just read the instructions. You have to read them carefully and read them slowly. You'll notice there's these colorful words. These let you understand the parts that you have to look for in the programming. And I'll show you in a second. So in this tutorial, we create a game with two sprites, a player sprite and a food sprite. A sprite is another word for little drawing. The goal of the game is to eat as much pizza as you can before the time runs out. Each time your player catches the pizza, you gain points and the countdown is restarted. Okay, all that sounds good. I press OK. And then it literally tells you what to do up here. So it's super easy to follow. Open the Scene Toolbox drawer and drag the Set Background Color block into the On Start block. Click Next to go to the next step in the tutorial. So read this first. Follow everything, then do whatever you need to do, then you press next. So it's going to say open the Scene Toolbox drawer. So we're going to take a look at our scene. And we want to set the background color. So we're going to go over here where it says Scene. Because it said Scene. So it's really simple, really easy to follow. Set the background color to. And you're going to drag this block to On Start. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to grab this and just put it right in here. You'll hear a little click sound. Then I'll follow the next direction. Click Next. In the Set Background Color block, click on the gray color oval to open the color palette and select a background color. To see what this looks like in your game, look at the game simulator, which is this guy on the left side of the screen. So let's make the color really different. Let's make it pink. You see the screen turns pink. This is awesome. You could totally make a game. It's going to happen. So we're going to press Next. Open the Sprites Toolbox drawer and drag the first block, Set My Sprite, into the On Start block on your workspace. This will create a new player character for your game. Again, let's just follow the instructions. Open the Sprites Toolbox drawer, which is going to be this one, and drag the first block, Set My Sprite, into the On Start. Cool, let's do that. Sprites, Set My Sprite. That's what I'm looking for. So I'm going to drag this block into the On Start. So I'm going to put it right there. This will create a new player character for your game. So I'm going to move it around, take a look at it. Right? Nothing's happened yet. But because we haven't really done much to it yet. So we're just going to keep following the directions. Draw your player character by clicking on the gray square in the Set My Sprite block to open the Sprite Editor. Use the color palette and design tools to draw an image on the canvas. Click Done when you are finished. Click on that. And so we're going to draw a little character. I don't want it to be pink because I already have a pink background. So let's go ahead and we're going to make a smiley face. So I'm going to grab some black, circle tool, and draw this out. Now you got to land correctly, so you know you can always do, if you make a mistake, I'm going to do Command Z. So instead of maybe grabbing the circle tool, I'm just going to grab the little pencil. And I'm going to draw a circle. And we're going to put a smiley there. Okay, and we can then paint it with yellow everywhere else. We can change our brush size here. Oop, that's a little too big. Make it a little smaller still. Okay, let's finish him up. Try to make him a little bit more even, so switching to black, grabbing my brush, and finishing off. He's kind of like a Lego head, I guess. That's okay. And I'll make it a little more even by adding a little bit of yellow. Now I'm just making it up as I go. You should take your time, make this really fun, spend a whole hour just drawing this, you know, take your time. Let's press done. Now I have my little drawing is there. So look at that. Draw your player character by clicking on the gray square. Boom. Use the color palette to draw an image on the canvas. We did it. So now we're going to press next. Open the controller toolbox drawer and drag the Move My Sprite with Buttons block after the Set My Sprite block. This will allow you to move your player sprite around the screen with the arrow keys. Let's do it. So we're going to open up the controller toolbox. I'm going to drag the Move My Sprite with Buttons block after the Set My Sprite block. So we're going to look for Set My Sprite and we're going to put it after. This will allow you to move your player with the arrow keys. So now you move over to your keyboard and try your arrow keys. Look at that. It's working. The game is actually happening. So what's going to happen here is we're just going to keep going down the steps. So let me go to the next one. Open the Sprites toolbox drawer and drag another Set My Sprite block into the On Start block on the workspace. This will be the pizza sprite. So go back to Sprites. Drag another Set My Sprite 2 block onto the On Start block of your workspace. Dragging this. And I'll put this here. In Set My Sprite 2, click on My Sprite 2 to open the menu and select Rename Variable. Type in pizza. So I'm going to click down there, open the menu, rename variable, and we're going to call it pizza. Cool. So it's got a new name. In the Set the Pizza block, click on the player kind to open the menu of the different sprite kinds. Select food as your pizza sprite kind. So in the player, we have different kinds of choices. We're going to select food. Again, just follow the blocks. It's really easy to follow. Click on the gray box for Set Pizza, and then select the gallery view. Scroll to find the image of a small pizza or any image you like, and select it to load into the image editor. So I'm going to click on Sprite. This is the one for the pizza, right? Now let's go back to our instructions for a second. Because if we look at the gallery view, this is where we're going to find the images. So let's click back on there. And let's look for the gallery view. At the top of our screen, it says gallery. Look at that. We've got pre-built items. So this is fun. Now, for those of you who are more advanced, think about how much fun you can have just designing stuff, just drawing. You know what? Like, you can use these basic game concepts, but then go really nuts with it from here on out. So here are some different pizzas. So I can just select the pizza. There's the pizza. Press done. And now there's going to be a pizza on the screen. So easy. Now you're going to open the Sprites toolbox and drag the OnSprite overlaps other sprite block onto your workspace. You can place this anywhere. So now, since it says place this anywhere, we're now going to break from that one area and we're going to have multiple things on our big screen. So open the Sprites toolbox, drag the OnSprite overlaps other sprite. We're going to put it over here. So this is, you notice it didn't say into, right? It said into anywhere else. So that's why what I did. In the OnSprite overlaps, this is what we're looking at, OnSprite overlaps. Click on the second player kind after other sprite to open the menu, select food. So we're going to open this and call it food. When our player overlaps with the pizza sprite, let's add a point to our game. Open the info toolbox drawer and drag the change score block into the OnSprite overlaps other sprite block. Again, there's a lot to read, just take it slow. This is explaining what's going to happen, that we're going to add a point every time our player touches the pizza or overlaps. So we're going to open the info toolbox, drag the change score, and we're going to put it in the OnSprite overlaps, this guy. Boom. Let's set the position for pizza to random locations around the screen. You'll notice right now the number is climbing because they're overlapping, so our program's working. But now we're going to make the pizza go random. Open the Sprites toolbox drawer and drag and select the Set My Sprite Position block into the OnSprite overlaps other sprite block on your workspace. So let's go over that. Open to the Sprites toolbox and drag the Set My Sprite Position into the sprite overlaps. In the Set My Sprite Position, click on My Sprite variable to open the menu and select your pizza. So we don't want it to move our face around, we want it to move the pizza, so we switch that. So now the pizza is starting to move in different random areas of the screen, which is great. Open the Math toolbox drawer and drag the, let me just make sure I didn't miss anything. I didn't miss anything, sorry about that. Open the Math toolbox drawer and drag the two pick random blocks onto the workspace. Drop one of the X coordinate on the set pizza position block and the other into the Y coordinate, replacing the 0 values. Okay, let's do it slow. Open the Math toolbox and drag two pick random blocks onto the workspace. So this goes anywhere. Drop one into the X coordinate of the set pizza position block and drag and the other into the Y coordinate. So we're going to drag one of these into the X coordinate of the set pizza position. And then we're going to get another one and we're going to put it in the Y. So this was in Math, pick random, and then you want to put the other one in the Y coordinate. So now both of those are no longer going to be 0. Now you notice how I'm running out of space, hard to see a little bit on my screen. I can just move the blocks around. So now what's going to happen is the pizza is now going to be able to move randomly, and we'll start to have some fun soon. The arcade game screen is 160 pixels wide, 120 pixels high. In the first pick random block in the X coordinate, set the set pizza position block. Change the maximum value from 10 to 160. In the second pick random block, change the maximum value from 10 to 120. So what is this all? Why are we doing this? We're doing this because we want to make sure that the pizza stays within the screen. So what we're going to do is change the values. So pick random. We're going to set it from 10 to 160. And for the Y, 10 to 120. That way the pizza doesn't fall off the screen. Cool. Then we'll press next. Let's restart our countdown each time. Open the info toolbox drawer and drag a start countdown block into the on-sprite overlaps other sprite block on your workspace. So again, open up info, start countdown, and this guy is going to go into the on-sprite overlap sprite block on your workspace. So into this guy. So there's a counter now, which is cool. Congratulations, you have completed your first game. Use the game simulator to play by moving your player around the screen and eat as much pizza as possible before the time runs out. Awesome. So now I lost. Ah, that was super loud. So since I lost, I'm going to lower the volume of that for sure. I'm going to play again. Refresh it. Now I'm going to move my little pizza guy and touch that. Try to catch as many pizzas as I can. Ah! I'm running out of time here. Let's see how many I can get. I'm running out of time. Ah. And the thing is, as long as I touch a pizza, it always resets. But if I let it go, if I'm too slow, then I'm going to get a game over. So let's watch for that. Game over, right? Okay, so the whole idea here, everybody, is that this is how you can now just start to have fun with these things. So what I'd like you to do for one day is just to start experimenting with one of these games. Because think about this. All this stuff that we're looking at right now, everything that I've been doing, I can go in here and change it. So if I want to give him some fangs, and maybe I want to give him a red eyeball in the middle, right? Change him around. Once I'm done with this, this is going to update in my game, right? So just think about that. Think about how cool it is that you can just have some pretty simple functions, and now you can really just go nuts with this, because all these things can be modified and changed. And yeah, start to have fun with it. So that is how we can use Arcade Maker to make stuff. Again, go to the website. I'm going to get out of my tutorial now. And when you're done, you can share this if you want. You can publish your project and share it embedded in other web pages. So yeah, I'm going to call this Santos Chase Pizza, right? Publish project. And see, now I have a link that I can play. So this is super cool because I can copy this link, and now this link, you can send it to me. So for example, I could, if you send it to me via email and then I type this into my browser, I'm going to be able to play the game. So this would be the thing that you'd want to keep so that you can always come back to your game. So just make sure that you are keeping track of this web address. That way you can always share it to me and tell me what you've been working on. Okay?